Hello, YouTube. My name is Interrupting Don Fan, and I am coming to you with a little bit of a rant on Castle Siege and on Mineplex in general. And I'm also going to come with you some Castle Siege gameplay from the fabulous Mineplex network. Now, if you guys didn't know, Castle Siege was Mineplex's first ever game mode. Not one of the first, but the first. Matter of fact, you can attribute the spawn of Mineplex to Castle Siege entirely. And I was around when this first happened. I'm a pretty old dude. I've been around for over a year. I know how things been going on, and I knew Spoojil back before he even thought of making Mineplex. It was never like a, oh my god, I'm gonna make Mineplex thing. It was just like a thing that happened, I guess. And so I was there for the whole story, so I figure I can tell you guys who may not know a little bit about it as I play the game just a little bit. Cool. So for those of you who don't know, Spoojil used to be a GM on the Minecade network, specifically in the MC The Walls game. And for those of you who have never played MC The Walls and never really gotten involved in the community, that game is about as addicting as anything I've ever played. The community's addicting, the game's addicting, everything's addicting about it. Like, Spoo even goes to the tournaments still, and he's like a busy man with important things to do. Like, so yeah, it's a big deal. Spoo was a GM on The Walls, and he actually was the one who encouraged me to apply for GM. So yeah, that's a thing. Dude, what are you? Oh my god, I can't hit the guy. Anyway, so yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is he was around on the Minecade network way before Mineplex, I guess. Yeah. Back in that time, I was in a clan with Spoo. We played every day together. It was called KOS, which stands for Kill on Sight. And KOS was actually the #1 Minecade MC The Walls clan. We were the best. We were undefeated. We were the top clan. No one could beat us. Everyone wanted to beat us. And Spoo designed our website. And I guess like one time when he was designing our website for the clan, he decided that he wanted to make Castle Siege. So that's what he did. He started developing it, and he started playing less and less with the clan, I guess, which is okay. We all supported him in making Castle Siege. It was a good idea. It was we all thought it would be really cool. It would be interesting having like a defense-based game. So Spoo, I guess he wrote the plugin himself, or he got someone inexperienced to do it. I'm not sure. I'm a little hazy on that detail. It's been a while. I didn't like write it down or anything. But yeah. So that happened. Meanwhile, KOS kept winning, kept playing in tournaments, etc., etc. Yeah. So Spoo finally finished his Castle Siege, and we're all really excited to test it. He's got everyone at MC The Walls community going after it, testing it, and it's just a fun time. Will you quit blocking me, you dirty word? But yeah, so we get on and we test it, and it turns out the game is exactly like MC The Walls. There's 4 biomes, just like Walls. There's like a grace period where you get materials and stuff, just like Walls. Like, it was like, I don't know, we all love Spoo, but his game was kind of, it was bad. It was poorly coded, it was laggy, it was very unclear what you were supposed to be doing. I don't think the actual part where you do the Castle Siege part worked. I think it was just PvP, straight up PvP, for the most part. So like, it was really bad, but Spoo really wanted this game to become developed. So he kept on, give me Defender me. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway. So he kept on pushing the game, and kept on developing it even after some of us said it's really close to Walls. I liked the premise, I really did. But it's really close to Walls. It really was. So essentially Spoo kept working on it. I think he got a coder to help him a little bit and made the game actually playable. Now, he finally decided he was ready to go present this game to Minecade, because he wanted this game to be developed by Felipe and Pablo, the 2 owners of Minecade. He wanted the game to be a Minecade game. There was no question of like starting his own network or anything like that. Now, some background. While this was going on, there's this whole incident with a former Minecade coder, Jarcode was his name. He revealed some stuff that we still don't know whether or not it's completely true. I'm gonna assume that it is true, just because the evidence that I've seen of how some of the owners of Minecade act is sort of backs up Jarcode's story. But there's then other people who have come out with stories like this. But basically, he talked about how Mindcade admins are like they're way too busy to do their job. They don't do anything. They're lazy, etc., etc. And all this like unrest was starting to form on the Mindcade network because of this post. And so that was going out around this time. Jarcode made a post. It got all over the forums. So yeah. So that was happening around that time. So Spook goes to present this game to Felipe, and he somehow gets Felipe's attention and everything, which is commendable. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's rare that happens. And he's able to get a test run scheduled. But his mistake here was he invites all the MC the Walls community to play. Now, some of the MC the Walls community, they at the time there was a lot of trolls. I'm not talking like the trolls that you see in the MC the Walls community now. Like, I'm talking like people who were just like hackers. And like when SCV first came out, these same people basically ruined the entire server by banning all the GMs and stuff. It was pretty bad. So yeah, that happened. So he invites these people to do it, and immediately I know it's a mistake. I wasn't able to make it to the actual test myself because I was a little busy doing real person things, but I was able to see the aftermath. I came on just after it happened, and it was not good. It was basically Felipe and Pablo did not like the game. They said it was too similar to MC the Walls, and it was also glitchy and nice no knockback scrub. It was just glitchy and laggy and not fun to play. In addition, the trolls basically targeted Felipe and Pablo the whole time, so they were unable to actually, experience the game. So that's a thing. Definitely a thing. So yeah, basically the game kind of failed. It really did. It kind of failed. So Felipe and Pablo said no. Spooja was devastated. He was upset. He was mad. He made a rant. He ranted to us in our Skype chat. And then he dropped off the face of the earth. He just stopped posting on the forums. He stopped doing anything. And at that time, the clan was kind of dying down. It was becoming less and less active. We decided we were getting tired of getting challenged every time we enter a game, crap like that. The perks of being good, I guess, or the woes of being good. Don't kill that guy's horse. He worked hard for that thing. So yeah, so that was part of it. So we just decided we were like winding down, and Spook just dropped off the face of the earth. It was no big deal to us. Then he comes back, like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks later, and he has the idea for the Mineplex network. And what this is essentially going to be his own small little network where he could have his own games. Never was it really intended to rival Mindcade, but that's what ended up happening. Will you get off my waterfall, you scrubs? Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, that's what ended up happening. And so Spoo does this network thing, and yeah, he gets Castle Siege developed on it, and he also thinks of like Minecart, which is like the Mario Kart thing, which is the second game that he's gonna be developing. And he starts recruiting members of the MC The Walls community to help him with his network. He starts asking for ideas, and basically the premise on this is he feels that Mindcade ignores their players and doesn't really communicate with them much. It's more focused on the money, and I have to agree with him about that. Mindcade is definitely all about the money. It's a business though, so you can't blame them. That's what the goal of the business is, to make money. That's what they set out to do. There's no hiding it. I just placed a fence there, kid. Yeah. So he made his network on that premise. Like, we're gonna pay attention to the community. It's not gonna be all about the money. It's gonna be all about the community, and we're gonna care about our players. We're gonna actively recruit like admins and stuff. We're gonna be able to like post and stuff. We're gonna be able to talk to players when they have issues. We're gonna be able to solve problems, and so yeah, that's what went down. Basically, so he keeps developing this, and it becomes like somewhat popular. It has like 20-30 people on rather consistently, and that's when he decides to start getting YouTubers. Now, this is something that people, like, it's a little controversial. I'm gonna say this flat out. Every single server asks YouTubers to go record their games. Whether they pay them to do it, or just straight up, or just politely ask them to do it, it happens. So none of this, oh, Mineplex hires YouTubers, crap. Because everyone hires YouTubers. Mindcade has a partnership with Skyless Minecraft. They bought his frickin' server, for Pete's sake. Hypixel doesn't really do it, but I know they have things with the Yogscast, but I think that's the Yogscast asking. But like, Most servers will do this. It's not unheard of. Little servers, especially when they're first starting up, will like definitely ask YouTubers to do their map, pay YouTubers to do their map. It happens with adventure maps. It happens with everything. So no hating on Mineplex for hiring YouTubers because freaking everybody does it. Yeah. So basically he starts getting YouTubers on the server, and the server becomes more and more popular. He also has jar code start coding for him, and he makes some pretty great games. I'm not gonna lie. Minecart was really great when it first came out. Oh, I'm lagging. Oh, good lordy. Minecart was really great when it first came out. I rather enjoyed it actually. I did enjoy playing Castle Siege just because it was like MC the Walls, but for when you got bored of MC the Walls. So that was good. Can you go away, kid? Thank you. It was just really great. It was really fun. It was an all-around good time. However, there was still like some rivalry starting because obviously Spoo was. I'm gonna say it straight out. He was a little bit butthurt about getting rejected by the Minecade community, by the Minecade community. And while he had valid points about what was wrong with the network, he definitely was a little bit angry in his execution of like making the network. He straight up would slander Minecade sometimes, and that's not a big deal. He's entitled to say what he wants to say, but sometimes, sometimes it's better to let your work speak for yourself, I guess. And sometimes him and especially other people who were on his server working for him, people speculated that he told them to do it, but I don't know if they. I'm pretty sure I don't believe that. I think that's a bunch of bullcrap. Would say things like that. Would like post the jar code rant everywhere and just slander Minecade in favor of Mineplex. Yeah, I was trying to get into our king. I should probably defend that. So basically, that was the issue that arose there. So what ended up happening was Spoo became a GM on Super Craft Brothers. He ended up doing some SCB stuff, and I guess he really did like the community there. But Felipe caught wind of the Mineplex server. I don't know who exactly. Actually, I'm not gonna say Felipe because I don't know all the details here, and I don't want to implicate anyone, and it's something they didn't do. But someone important caught wind of the Mineplex server and its rivalry with Minecade, and how it was basically designed essentially to take out Minecade. Because back then, Minecade was the #1 server. Hypixel was not the #1 server. There was no Hypixel. There was no like Hive was big, but it wasn't as big. Shoppo was like still Shoppo, and we're not gonna talk about that network. I hate that network. But yeah. So like it was big. Minecade was really big, especially Super Crap Brothers took off like freaking a rocket ship. That game was crazy back in the day. So yeah. So basically, the order came down from the higher ups to have Spoo demoted, and because of his association with rival networks, and any GMs who became GM on Mineplex were also demoted. So yeah, it's So yeah, basically, the demotion was a little bit not taken so well with a lot of the people who were mods. Obviously, they didn't see the need for it. From a business standpoint, I can totally understand the rule. It's with competition. You can't have someone like with the inside scoop on what's going on in your network working for your competitor. It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. And that's been a policy ever since. You can't be a moderator for any other big servers because competition. But I must remind you guys, it is a business. The goal of all these servers is to make money. Even Mineplex, the goal is to make money. Like, it's a big deal. Like, I know Spoo sold Mineplex for a metric buttload of money. Like, he's the community manager now, not the owner. But anyway, we're not gonna get on that topic. So that's an entirely different rant. But basically, Spoo was demoted, he was upset, and basically that's when Mineplex really started to really take off, because there was this whole rift created between the Mineplex players and the Minecade players. It was kind of a big deal, and I myself was offered to work at Mineplex, become a moderator, but I decided, because they started recruiting Mineplex, Minecade GMs, Minecade moderators that they thought would be really good at Mineplex, and I was one of them. Sure, but I decided to stay with Minecade just because, I have a sense of loyalty. Like, even if I know Minecade has issues, I know that Mineplex probably has significantly less issues than Minecade, but I'd still rather stay with Minecade. That's where I started. I feel like I need to, stick with it till the end. It's just who I am. I'm not in it for, like a lot of people are like, yeah, I want to be the moderator in the greatest server because I want the power. Like, it's not about the power to me. It's about, like, I enjoy doing it, and I feel the need to be, like, faithful to these people. And, yeah. I'm that community. So, yeah. Anyway, so then Mineplex really started taking off, and it's become, like, the big server that it is today, the biggest server. People have, speculated other reasons for its success, like, they use a spoofer, or, oh, you just have Captain Sparkles record all your stuff for you, and obviously, you're gonna be the biggest when Captain Sparkles does everything for you. But, like, honestly, the server has a, like, genuine sense of community, and does really good job of marketing itself to younger Minecraft players, as with Minecade has started to sort of drift towards older, more experienced Minecraft players. And the thing about older, more experienced Minecraft players is there aren't that many of us. Like, you see us a lot because a lot of us upload videos and stuff, and a lot of us are active on the forums because we're mature and able to handle it and stuff like that. But honestly, like, there are not that many of us. So Minecade just started to, like, drift into obscurity, I guess, and Mineplex started to pick up because they were taking away Minecade's market of young newbie Minecraft players with games like this. Now, Castle Siege kept on, like, being taken down and coming back and being taken down and coming back, just because I don't know, I have no clue why. Like, I don't. So if someone knows the reason, they can post a comment, and I'll upload it so it shows up so you guys can see. But I don't actually know why. And this was because basically just, I don't know, I didn't think Spoo thought it was a very fun game. It eventually became like from a 4v4 to a 2v2, and then it went from basically it had multiple game modes at one point. There was like one in the chamber Castle Siege, regular Castle Siege. This is back when Mineplex first started. It was exclusively Castle Siege. So yeah, that was a big deal. But like it was an interesting development. Oh man, I was trying not to die. It was an interesting, like, development watching Castle Siege, like, go. I was a fan of the original game. I don't think I like this as much, just because I feel like the fact that I like the fact that you have limited lives over there. I really do. That you become weaker when you die. I don't like how essentially it's encouraging the undead to literally throw themselves at their opponents. I'm not a fan. I don't know. It seems newbie to me. It seems to make the game easier, like spoon feed the concept to me. And I don't know if I'm a fan of, like, games that are easy to play. I prefer games with a high ceiling, you know, and this game does not have a very high ceiling. I don't think any Mineplex games have a very high ceiling. But what I mean by high ceiling is basically games like the lower their ceiling is, the less, like, complex you can get with it. For example, Super Smash Brothers, my bad. Super Smash Brothers Melee has, like, one of the highest ceilings out of any game I've ever seen in my life. There's layers and layers and layers to that game, to the point where you can get someone who's been playing the game for 5 years casually, and someone who's been playing the game for 5 years competitively, and it doesn't even look like they're playing the same freaking game. Like, that's what I mean by high ceiling. Low ceiling, I'm looking at the games like Animal Crossing, games like Mario Kart, where everything in the game is right in front of you. There's no, like, secrets to unlock. There's nothing, like, there's no, like, hidden level of play that's light years ahead of the casual level of play. It's just, yeah, it's just that. It's just the game at face value. So yeah, so I prefer games with a high ceiling, and this game doesn't really give you much room for creativity with the game and with strategies and stuff. So I don't know, I like the old Castle Siege better, because it did have a very high ceiling. It was, actually, I really enjoyed it. Like, thinking of creative ways to defend my button and my wall. Like, I get it, pushing a button is boring. Kids don't like that. But I don't care. I don't have to use I can use my imagination to pretend I'm defending an actual castle. Like, it's pretty great. Like, you were able to place blocks, whatever you wanted. They were great kits. Like, it was pretty beautiful. I don't know if like, this is fun, but, like, I feel like they should bring back classic Castle Siege, because that was just awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I would play that, like, daily if that came back. Anyway, yeah, so, yeah, I don't have much more to say about this. Like, basically, that's the story of how things went down. I don't talk to Spoo that much anymore. I talked to him at the Bridges tourney. I talked to him because, you know, my team, the MC The Walls team, came in and kicked everyone's butt. So yeah, I talked to him after that. And I know he goes to the MC The Walls tourney. I've never had the pleasure of being in a game with him recently because, you know, I just don't get, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm barely able to like play walls as it is. I'm so busy. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Spoo definitely has changed too. Not necessarily in a bad way, but he's definitely different. I know he's a rich person now. He's very wealthy. His server's brought a lot of success, which I never would have guessed by seeing him originally. Like, he's always been, like, very prolific, very dynamic person. Always on the cutting edge of, like, developing the latest thing or pushing, like, the latest thing. Like, he was one of the first SCB GMs. He made, like, the ban appeal format for it. It was, like, he did a lot of things. He was always pushing, like, making the next new thing, doing the next big thing. And so, you know, that was, kind of a big deal. When he made Mineplex, we all knew it was gonna be like somewhat successful. We just never thought this successful. So yeah, it was yeah, it was interesting. Hey, we win. So I hope you enjoyed my Mineplex rant. Sorry if it wasn't very coherent, but I don't plan anything I do. So yeah, and yeah, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, favorite, leave a comment. Also, I want to see your feedback. If you were around when Mineplex was created, or if you're new to Mineplex and you want to share your stories about the server, you know, let me know, because I definitely want to hear them. I would love to hear, like, I like a good discussion. No flaming. If you flame, I swear to God, I will delete your comments. I will block you from my channel. I don't want any of that crap. But if you want to have like a nice polite discussion about the two servers and about Spoojil and the origin of Pencil Siege and blah blah blah, all that crap, feel free to drop a comment, talk with other users. I'll contribute, whatever. But yeah, so if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, leave a comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe and become one of my Don fans. Additionally, you can like me on Facebook, friend me on Engine, or follow me on Twitter for up-to-date info on what I'm doing and where I'm doing it. And if you like these kinds of like ranty videos where I talk about stuff like this, let me know, because I kind of enjoy doing that, and I'll work on making my rants a little bit more coherent for y'all's if you do enjoy them. So let me know. Leave a like if you enjoy the rant. Leave a comment telling me you enjoyed the rant, because I don't know if the like is because you're like, yeah, Mineplex, yeah, like, or if you're like, yeah, rant, yeah, like, I don't know. So definitely let me know about that. I want to play another game of this. I'm not going to record it, though, because I want to enjoy myself. Don Fan, roll out.